Welcome to our class. We are discussing about the derivation of the magnetic field strength at a point due to a long straight conductor carrying current, for which we have considered a long straight conductor AB, and the P is the point of observation where we have to find out the magnitude of field strength due to this current carrying conductor. And here we have mentioned AB as the conductor, XY is a small element of the conductor, DL is equal to length of that element, P is the point of observation, O is the center of the element, theta is the angle made by OP with the length of the conductor. Now, we can find the magnitude of field strength using Biot-Savart's law. So, let us start from Biot-Savart's law. From Biot-Savart's law, we know that dB is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi I dl sin theta by x square. Here, according to the figure, we have taken this distance as x, for which we are writing here x square. Now in the triangle OPM, in the triangle OPM, here is the angle theta and let this angle is alpha. So, we can write theta plus alpha equal to pi by 2 or 90 degree, because this plus this equal to 180. So, theta plus alpha equal to pi by 2 implies theta is equal to pi by 2 minus alpha, okay, which implies sin theta is equal to sin pi by 2 minus alpha, which is equal to cos alpha, or implies sin theta equal to cos alpha. Let this is equation 2. What we are doing here? Actually, our intention is to find the magnitude of a magnetic field strength at the point of observation due to a long straight conductor carrying current, for which we have to use Biot-Savart's law. So, if dB is the magnetic field strength at the point of observation P due to the element xy, then according to Biot-Savart's law, dB equal to mu 0 by 4 pi I dl sin theta by x square. Now, the total magnetic field strength at the point of observation, now the total magnetic field strength at the point of observation is obtained by integrating this equation within the proper limits. And if we want to integrate this equation, then here are three variables. One is the dl, second one is the theta, and the third one is the x. Then with which variable we have to integrate this equation? So, there are so many methods to solve this long straight conductor problem using Biot-Savart's law, and we will adopt one of them, for which what we have to do? We have to change these variables dl, theta and x into another variable alpha, and then by converting these three quantities dl, sin theta and x into alpha, we can integrate this equation only using the variable alpha. So, now our duty is to convert these three variables into alpha. Actually, this problem can be solved or this expression can be obtained in a variety of ways, out of which I am adopting one, for which I have to convert dl sin theta and x into alpha, for which I took the help of the triangle OPM, in which theta plus alpha equal to pi by 2 and theta equal to pi by 2 minus alpha, for which sin theta is equal to sin pi by 2 minus alpha equal to cos alpha and sin theta equal to cos alpha. One variable is converted, that is sin theta is equal to cos alpha. Again in the same triangle OMP, tan alpha equal to how much? P by B, that is OM by MP, OM by MP, ସେଇটা equal to OM is nothing but L by MP equal to nothing but R, which implies L equal to R tan alpha, which implies on differentiation gives dl is equal to R d of tan alpha, that is sec square alpha d alpha. This is equation 3. dl equal to R sec square alpha d alpha, because dl is there. And in the same triangle OPM, cos alpha equal to how much? B by H, that is MP by OP, MP by OP, which is equal to MP is R by OP is X, implies X equal to R by cos alpha, which is equal to R sec alpha. This is equation 4. Here we have converted the values of sin theta, dl and x in terms of alpha, because sin theta is equal to cos alpha, dl is equal to R sec square alpha d alpha and x equal to R sec alpha. Now, putting the values of equations 2, 3 and 4 in equation 1, we get, putting the values of equations 2, 3 and 4 in equation 1, we get dB equal to mu 0 by 4 pi I dl, but in place of dl we can write I into R sec square alpha d alpha into sin theta. Sin theta is cos alpha divided by x square. X square is R by cos alpha, which is R sec alpha square. Okay. Now, solving this, we can get mu 0 by 4 pi I, this is R sec square alpha into cos alpha into d alpha divided by r square sec square alpha. And sec square alpha get cancelled. 1 r will get cancelled, is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi I by r into cos alpha d alpha, implies dB equal to this much, and let this be equation 5. Now we arrived at the condition of a magnitude of a magnetic field strength at the point of observation P due to the elementary conductor carrying current xy. But actually our intention is to calculate the total magnetic field strength at P due to the conductor AB, which can be obtained by integrating this equation 5 within the proper limits. And this integration is to be done over dl. So, we can write the total magnetic field at P due to the conductor AB can be obtained by integrating the above equation 5 within the proper limits that is b equal to integration 0 to b dB, which is equal to integration mu 0 by 4 pi I by r cos alpha d alpha within the limit that is minus theta 1 to plus theta 2. Because in our diagram what we have taken? We have taken the theta 1 is the angle between AP and PM, which is drawn from PM towards AP, and theta 2 is the angle between OB and PM, which is drawn from PM. But our integration is from A to B. So, that will be from minus theta 1 to plus theta 2. That is why I have taken here the limit of integration as minus theta 1 to plus theta 2. So, this can be written as these constants will be taken outside. So, mu 0 by 4 pi I by r integration of minus theta 1 to plus theta 2 into cos alpha d alpha. And we know the integration of cos alpha is nothing but sin alpha. So, it will be mu 0 by 4 pi I by r, it will be sin alpha from minus theta 1 to plus theta 2. So, by putting the values of the initial and final limits, we can write B equal to mu 0 by 4 pi I by r sin theta 2 minus sin of minus theta 1 which can be further reduced to B equal to mu 0 by 4 pi I by R within bracket it is sin theta 2 plus sin theta 1. This is equation 6. This is the expression for the magnetic field at a point. This is the expression for the magnetic field at a point due to a long straight conductor carrying current. Here there are some special cases. If we consider the conductor to be of infinite length, then what will happen to the strength of magnetic field at the point of observation, for which let us discuss the special cases. Let us discuss the special cases. And number 1, for infinitely long straight conductor, for infinitely long straight conductor, theta 1 equal to theta 2 equal to 90 degree. Because I am drawing once again the figure. This is A, this is B, this is point of observation P, this is M, and this angle is theta 1 and this angle is theta 2, and this angle is oriented from this and this angle is oriented from this. If we increase the length up to this, if the length is increased to this, then the angle will increase from this to this. And if we increase once again to this, then the angle will be how much? Angle will be this much. And if that length is extended to infinity, then the angle will be like this. And if it extends to infinity, then this value will be maximum, and that is 90 degree. And similarly, if we extend the length of the conductor up to infinity along B, then it will also be 90 degree. Hence, for infinitely long straight conductor, theta 1 equal to theta 2 equal to 90 degree. So, from this equation, now we can write, so B is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi I by R sin in 90 degree plus sin 90 degree. It will be equal to mu 0 by 4 pi I by R. This is 1 plus 1 implies yes, B equal to mu 0 by 4 pi 1 plus 1 is this is 2I by r. This is the expression for the magnitude of a field strength at a point due to an infinitely long straight conductor carrying current. This is the expression for the field strength at a point due to an infinitely long straight conductor carrying current. Once again, I would like to remind you that this long question can be obtained in a variety of ways, and I have adopted one of them. And also during the integration of a dB, I have taken the limit of integration as minus theta 1 and theta 2, and here I have put theta 1 equal to theta 2 equal to 90 degree for infinitely long straight conductor. But in most of the books it is written that the limit of integration is obtained from theta 1 and theta 2, where we have taken minus theta 1 and theta 2. Most of the books have taken theta 1 and theta 2. And here by taking the limit as a minus theta 1 and theta 2, we have taken here theta 1 equal to theta 2 equal to 90 degree. But those have written the limit of integration as theta 1 and theta 2, they have written at this point as theta 1 equal to minus 90 degree and theta 2 as plus 90 degree. As a result, the final result is same. But I don't feel that method or that limit of integration to be logical, for which I have taken the limit of integration as from minus theta 1 to theta 2 and here as theta 1 equal to theta 2 equal to 90 degree. So, the strength of magnetic field at a point due to an infinitely long straight conductor carrying current is B is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi 2I by r. Now, in number 2, the question arises, if the point of observation lies at one end near the one end of an infinitely long straight conductor, then if the point of observation lies near one end of the infinitely long straight conductor, then theta 1 equal to 0 degree and theta 2 equal to 90 degree, because I am writing here the conductor is extended up to infinity here, and here the point of observation is taken. So, if it is A and it is B, so theta 1 will be 0 here and theta 2 will be 90 degree. So, B will be how much? B is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi I by r, within bracket it is sin theta 1 plus sin theta 2. So, it will be mu 0 by 4 pi I by r, theta 1 is 0. So, it is sin 0 0 plus theta 2 is sin 90. So, once again I am writing sin 0 degree plus sin 90 degree, which is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi I by r. 0 plus 1, or implies B is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi I by R. That means if the point of observation lies to the midpoint of the infinitely long state conductor, then the value of B is mu 0 by 4 pi 2I by R. But if that point of observation lies at one end of an infinitely long state conductor, then in that case B will be mu 0 by 4 pi I by R, which is half of that obtained during the previous case. So, here we have found that B will be maximum, and that is mu 0 by 4 pi 2I by R when we have chosen the midpoint to be the point of observation in case of an infinitely long state conductor carrying current. For points along the length of the wire, number 3 point, if the point lies along the length of the conductor, then both theta 1 equal to theta 2 0. So, B will be also 0. That means no field will be there along the length of the conductor. And here we have obtained B proportional to 1 by R. But according to Biot-Savart's law, B varies inversely with the square of the distance. But in case of infinitely long state conductor, B varies inversely with the distance only. Here B proportional to 1 by R, B proportional to 1 by R. But in case of Biot-Savart's law, B proportional to 1 by R square. Here we finish the magnitude of a magnetic field strength at a point due to a long state conductor carrying current, also due to infinitely long state carrying current. Here I finish this class. Many thanks.